and get more fun for all.
Female voters will certainly play an important role come November. But with the economy still stalled, political rhetoric in the so-called war on women has become heated. Take a listen to this exchange on pay equality during NBC's Meet the Press yesterday.
The Romney campaign wants to talk about women and the economy. The women in this country still make 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait. Well, don't tell me the reasons are. Do women make less than men for doing the same work?
No, because...
Wow.
Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible
professions. Listen, this is not a math is hard
No. Yes, it is, actually.
No, it isn't.
All right, here we have CNBC contributor Howard Dean, former Vermont governor and DNC chair, and we welcome back House member Kathy McMorris Rodgers. She's Republican from Washington and vice chair of the House Republican Conference. You know, it's Kathy McMorris Rodgers. There is an hours worked issue here. I mean, Alex Castellanos is right. When you look at the Labor Department numbers, men work longer because women are rearing children. This is by women's choice, but there really isn't a pay gap. It's an hours work gap. What's your take on that?
Well, the 77% number is certainly misleading. It doesn't tell the whole story. And when you compare men and women in the same positions and with the same experience, the same education, there is no pay gap. Men, on average, work 8 to 10 hours per week more than a woman, and so you need to look at what the position is, and you need to compare apples to apples, not pick and choose. And once again, this is an issue. It's an example where the Democrats are trying to divide Americans, whether it's men or women. In this case, rich or poor, and others, but they are trying to distract Americans from the real issues. There's not a war on women. Right?
Howard Dean, before you come slashing back, let me just get one additional number out, and then you can do whatever you're going to do. Again, from the Labor Department, college-educated men and women who have never married, so they have no kids, between the ages of 40 and 64, okay? Men, $40,000 a year. Women, $47,000 a year, okay? So actually, the women do better.
Well, the women as a whole don't do better. I find it somewhat ludicrous that we have Republicans talking about equal pay for women when they hated the Lilly Ledbetter Act, which is the first order of business for us, so there really would be equal pay for women. Here are the facts. By your own math, Larry, this is nonsense. Let's just suppose for a moment that the Labor Department did say that 41 hours a week was worked by women and 44 by men. That doesn't account for a 23% wage difference. The fact is that women are on the short end of the stick economically, and we'd like to fix that, and the Republicans would simply like to give all that money back to the big corporations. We're not going to do that.
Go ahead, Ms. Go ahead.
Republicans support equal pay for equal work. That has never been in dispute. Lilly Ledbetter was a bad bill. All it did was open up the treasure chest for the trial lawyers. And you know who wins when the trial lawyers gets into this. And it wouldn't have helped women actually get jobs or employers hire anyone or put Americans back to work. And again, I would say the real issues come back to the economy, come back to job creation, the debt. These are all distractions from the real issues because President Obama doesn't want to run on his record.
You guys are making this stuff up. The fact of the matter is that Lilly Ledbetter wasn't paid equally, and the Republicans voted to keep paying her not unequally. This is a nonsensical argument coming from a Republican. The facts that you just stated are simply not so. The Republicans voted against equal pay for women. That is a fact.
The bill didn't. Equal pay for equal work has been on the books for a long time.
We've had enough Washington talk for this. We want equal pay for women. We want women to be treated decently. We know where the Republicans stand,
I would say
and we stand with the women.
Republicans support equal pay for equal work.
They voted against Lilly Ledbetter. How can you say that? That's
it was
nonsense.
on the books
Absolute
even before
nonsense.
the Lilly Ledbetter bill.
And the right-wing Supreme Court wouldn't let her have equal pay. This is a nonsensical argument.
Lilly Ledbetter, all it did was open up the treasure chest for the trial lawyers.
That is total hogwash. It's always the trial lawyers. It's never the Republicans' fault that women don't get an equal break. This is an election season. We expect this kind of nonsense, but I'm not letting you get away with it.
You know, the Republicans won the women's vote vote in
propaganda
2010.
doesn't fly.
All right, wait a
The
second.
Republicans won the women's vote in 2010. Democrats are panicked.
Let me just try to
Not
put
gonna
another
happen.
fact in. Howard is accusing me of being a propagandist. I'm just reasoning.
I said even on Larry Kudlow that I said it didn't say. Well, that's true. You are a propagandist on this issue.
I'm just
That's
using
true.
a fact. Look,
right.
here's another fact. Okay, again, women have 58%. This is amazing. In 2012, women are now earning 58% of all college degrees, whether it's a 2-year school, a 4-year school, or graduate school. Women are earning 58% of all college degrees. Men, 42%. So, Ms. Rodgers, the thought occurs to me, simple-minded as I am, women are gaining the upper hand in this long-term battle because college-educated women are going to outstrip everybody, and eventually they're going to be in all the high-paid professions. So why is there such a hullabaloo? The college education, women almost 60% now, for heaven's sakes. They're going to win the whole race.
Look at the law schools. Look at medical schools. It's really exciting to see women in all of these positions, including Congress. And you know what? There were a record number of women, Republican women, elected to Congress in 2010. The Republicans won the women's vote. Women actually fired the first woman Speaker of the House because they didn't like the policies that were being promoted by the first woman Speaker of the House.
That among
it's really
people who go to
exciting
law
to see
school and medical
Republican
school, actually,
women.
women graduates of medical school get paid less than men graduates, and that's the same is true of law school.
But is that because they work fewer hours and they're more part-time?
Larry, you better be careful because there was a big flap last week about whether work inside the house was work or not. I happen to think it is, and I don't think they should get paid less because they happen to have children.
If you work part-time, Kathy McMorris Rodgers, if you work by choice, I'm saying by choice, during certain earnings years, don't you have to take that into account by their own choice?
You know, what is exciting today? What is exciting today is that women can have those choices, can have the flexibility that's available to them, and I think we need more flexibility in the workplace so that women can have. I've introduced the Flexibility in the Workplace Act, which would give women more options that are those hourly employees.
We fundamentally believe the government should stop telling women what to do in their private lives, in their personal lives, in their reproductive lives, and then they ought to stand up for women's ability to really
Republicans
choose
believe
and pay
in opportunity.
Them what you pay men.
Go out there and see.
I got to jump out. We didn't get agreement. I thought we would, but we didn't. Howard Dean, thank you, sir, as always. Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers, we appreciate it. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be joined by the well-known housing economist Robert Schiller and Senator Tom Coburn. That's it for this evening's show. I'm